Your story follows all the rules. Inciting incident at 10%, midpoint at 50%, climax at 85%. But readers still say, I didn't care about the characters. You're not doing anything wrong structurally. Instead, you're just doing things backwards. Today I'm showing you the one thing that most structure guides skip, and why starting the plot beats is killing your emotional impact. Here's what we're going to cover today, guys. First, we're going to talk about why structure advice is incomplete. Second, we're going to talk about the one element you need to identify before you plot any beat. And third, we're going to show you how to reverse engineer a story from character transformation. Ultimately, you'll be asking yourself this throughout the whole plotting process. What does your character need to learn, not what they want to achieve? So here's the thing, guys. Most structure frameworks tell you plot beats at percentage points, typically. Inciting incident at 10%, midway at 50%, climax at 85%. That's useful because as a teacher, as a former English teacher, we do teach these frameworks. But here's what they don't really go over. Plot beats tend to be the result of character transformation, not the cause. Okay, let's break this down in the way of the Matrix. Neo's plot goal is to save Morpheus from the agents. That's his want. But what's his need exactly? Well, his psychological need is to believe in himself, to accept that he's capable of extraordinary things. Every single plot beat in The Matrix exists to crack that disbelief. The spoon scene, the jump, the one where he falls down. The Oracle telling him that he's not the one. All of these are designed to move him toward an internal transformation. But let's also take a bad example. Let's compare that to the Justice League movie. What is Superman's psychological need? What's Batman's internal flaw that he must transform? What does Wonder Woman learn about herself? If you know, please answer in the comments, because I still have no idea. And neither do the writers, I think. The movie has plot beats. Resurrect Superman, fight Steppenwolf, collect mother boxes, win. The movie ends with the characters the same as they started. There's no real internal journey beneath the action. And this is what typically happens when you structure plot first. You get action without any real meaning. Things explode for 2 hours, but nothing really transforms. Removes Neo's internal arc from The Matrix and it's the same thing, just cool kung fu. The Matrix has both, plot and psychology. That's the difference between a classic and a forgettable summer blockbuster. As we continue to apply this, let's apply it to books as well. Let's build the Hunger Games, shall we? Katniss Everdeen wants is obvious. Survive the games, protect Prim. That's an external plot goal. But her need, the psychological transition, is this. She believes survival equals emotional isolation. Caring about people gets you killed. That's the wall she has built up for us to break down throughout the story. And Suzanne Collins has built an entire plot to break that wall down. Rue's death forces Katniss to care despite being in danger. The alliance with Peeta forces her to trust someone. Oh, and that Barry finale forces her to choose between connection over her solo survival. Every single plot beat pushed her toward her need, learning that connection is strength, not weakness. That's the structure when it works correctly. The plot isn't a random series of events, rather it's designed to test the character's overall psychology. But once again, we're gonna look at things from the negative perspective. Guys, I love Ready Player One. I taught it to my 10th graders, taught it to my seniors. If you're one of my students who read it, I'm sorry, I love this book a lot. But here's the thing that always bothered me. We know what Wade wants. He wants to find the Easter egg, he wants to win the fortune, get the girl, the whole stuff that you want. But ultimately, we still don't really know what he needs to do with this stuff, okay? Is he lonely? Is he poor? Is he obsessed with the 80s? I have kind of seen where it could go, but if you also know, please comment below. The book never really clearly defines his internal needs. And because of that, Wade doesn't really have a drastic transformation. Yeah, he's the pop culture expert who's good at puzzles, but now he ends the book, the pop culture expert who's good at puzzles, except he's richer and has a girlfriend. The thing is that he succeeds at everything through knowledge he already has. There's no real moment where he has to confront a flaw, change his worldview, sacrifice anything internal. The plot really just moves forward without real character progression. That's why, even though I love the book, love the movie, it doesn't really stick with you the way that The Hunger Games does. The one just takes you on a roller coaster while the other one goes through transformation. So how do you fix this? Well, you fix this by, before you outlining a single plot beat, you answer John Truby's 2 major questions. The first question is, what is my character's weakness? Not circumstance, psychological flaw. Neo's weakness is the doubt. Katniss' weakness, emotional isolation. Not they're poor or inexperienced, those are circumstances. Where weakness comes from the internal. Question 2, what does the character need? What must they learn to accept or become whole? Neo needs to believe in himself. That's why the Matrix is awesome. Katniss needs to accept that connection is worth the risk. You want the plot goal comes after you answer that question. Because here's the secret, guys. Your plot exists to force your characters toward their need. Their inciting incident should challenge the weaknesses. Their midpoint test should test whether they learned anything or not. The climax should be the moment where they've either accepted their need or rejected. Structure your character's psychology first, then build the plot to test it. That's how you go from hollow to meaningful. So what happens when you put it all together? Well, let's put it this way. Battle Royale is easily one of my favorite books because Kushin Takami does this with 42 characters. Yes, 42. The protagonist, Shion Nanahara, his weakness, trust the system. He believes that the government actually won't make them kill each other. His need, he needs to accept that systems can and that survival requires resistance, not compliance. But the genius in the story is this. Takami gives this nearly every student their own weaknesses and need. Basically, the main female villain, Mitsuko Soma, believes that the world is predatory given her background as kill or be killed. Her need is to discover that connection is possible even in hell. Kawada basically survived the game before. His weakness is that he's cynical. He needs to believe that sacrifice can mean something. Think about it this way. Battle Royale is fantastic because it has 42 internal arcs, all tested by one plot engine, Battle Royale. That's the power of psychology-infused storytelling. You can scale it to however big the cast is. It doesn't matter if it's 6 or 42, because the plot tests the characters, not the story itself. Or we could look at Watchmen. Alan Moore gives every character a different psychological, philosophical need. Rorschach, he sees the world in black and white. Go figure. He needs to accept that moral is complex. Morality is complex. He never does. And that's the tragedy. Dr. Manhattan's weakness, he feels a little disconnected from humanity. Everything is predetermined. His need, find meaning in human choice despite determinism. The whole plot is a conspiracy. Ozymandias' plan exists to test these characters' philosophy. The structure isn't about who did what or why Ozymandias is evil. It's about how characters respond to what is an impossible moral question. Compare that to most comic book superhero events. I did read Secret Wars, where characters serve merely to plot logistics. We need Superman in this story because he needs this fight. That thinks with the plot first rather than characters. Watchmen is psychology first. The plot serves as the philosophical examination. That's why literature and most event comics are purely events. So let's recap real fast. 1, plot beats are the result of character transformation, not the cause. 2, before you outline, answer Truby's 2 major things about character development. What is their weakness and what is their need? 3, build your plot to test that psychology. Every beat should challenge your character's flaw or push them toward their need. The Matrix, The Hunger Games, Battle Royale, Watchmen, they all do this. They structure psychology first, then plot second. Here's my question for you. What is your protagonist's weakness and what do they need to learn? Drop them in the comments below and I want to see their internal arcs. And if you want more structured breakdowns like this, hit subscribe. I'm doing Truby breakdowns basically throughout the month. And if you want more content like this and you want to see how video game pacing can fix your sagging middle arc, click this video here and I'm breaking down what Dark Souls and The Last of Us teach us about engagement loops. If you want more structured breakdowns on how to make your characters more developed, or if you're just looking for progress on my own self-publishing journey, I do write a weekly newsletter called The Story Lab, where it goes down deeper in these videos. I share what I'm learning that week, the mistakes I'm making while writing, and breakdowns that you won't see on YouTube. Link is in the description below. It's free, and it's where I'm building the community of writers that are aiming to finish stories in 2026. Thanks for watching, everybody. Catch you later.